So creating colored pencil fades. I've got the plans. Obviously, I still have some areas of white. I want that to be sky color. So instead of just putting a blue marker in there and making it flat, I'm going to go in and create a fade using just a light blue that's going to create some contrast between these yellow and the orange that I'm going to put on top of the yellow. So I want that fade to go from a darker blue to a lighter blue. So down close to the sun here, I'm going to use the colored pencil a little bit more firm and flat. And then same thing as I get to this edge here, a little bit more pressure, and then I'm going to lessen pressure as I work my way out. So I don't have any edge of separation. I don't have a line that separates the two different values. So you could see, probably about midway, I'm going to start lessening pressure. You can see I'm also going in small circles. And then I work my way up to the top and just fade it to the white. Now, areas close to the sun, obviously, in that tiny little area, I don't have to create a fade in there. I don't have to create a gradient in there because it's just going to be, kind of that roundness. So most of this is not going to have much of a fade. And in fact, when it gets down closer to the water, I might decide to put a darker value in, or I'll just fade it out a little bit to create a little contrast between the sun and the water. All right, that gives me some depth in there. Now in the sun, in the background, I want to create a radial gradient. So I'm going to go in with a red up against the edge of the sun, over top of the orange, and press a little bit harder. And then as I work my way towards the inside, I'm going to lessen the pressure. So it creates a fade or a gradation towards the inside of the sun. And I'm following that circle radial shape. So up against the outer edge here, it's going to be a little darker. And then as I work my way in, I'm just lessening pressure to create that fade. Now obviously around the figure, really the most area where I'm going to see that transition is right along the outer edge. But just a little bit of a fade in there. I want to do the same thing with the sun rays, but now I'm going to go with an orange over top and then do another fade out like I did before. So the orange is with heavier pressure here, and as I work my way up, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the blue and create that gradient transition. I also want to create some of that look on the water. So I'm going to kind of follow the texture of the water here and kind of create an overshade here with a little bit of the yellow, kind of reflecting. Now the last thing I want to figure out is this halo area. What color do I want to put in there? I might want to consider doing a couple different things. I could do a solid flat marker color. Maybe I'll use the main focal point color to kind of tie it all together. Or I could use another accent color. I could use the orange from the sun or even a red marker and just use that as a unifying factor within. But I think I want to use the color of the figure in marker. And again, this is my rough. So if I decide that I want to try a couple different colors, I could do that. All right, maybe if I try to go in with the figure color, see how that looks. Maybe I could go in with a red. If I wanted to try colored pencil in that area, I could. You know, does the red work better? So making those decisions here on the rough is going to be something that's going to help you when you plan your final. This exercise, this part of the exercise is going to be photographed under the ring light, just like you see in the slide sample, and submitted for points. The rubric is in the slideshow as well.